So here's a Google map of one lesson. We start with the sort of a definition, or we start with the one lesson of business. Firms create wealth by moving assets from lower valued uses to higher valued uses. The essence of any good business plan or business model is identifying ways to move assets from lower valued uses to higher valued uses. Profit is the wealth the firm captures when it creates wealth. IT can help create wealth at least four ways. It can help reduce transactions cost. It can reduce production cost. It can transmit more timely information, or it can help create better information. In order for a firm to really create wealth, we've got to make sure that all employees are working towards a common goal and are engaged in productive activities that are not contrary to the interest of the owners. So now the question becomes, how can supervisors align the interests of employers and owners? Employees have a natural inclination to shirk because working sometimes imposes a cost on them, personal cost on them, where shirking sometimes more enjoyable. Well, we have at least three ways. First, supervisors can try to screen job applicants to identify employees naturally predisposed to act in the owner's interest. This is often the best method when the cost of learning whether the job applicant has the desired characteristics is low. The second thing that a supervisor can do is to monitor the activities of employees and reward employees who are doing what the owners want them to do. This is often the best process when the cost of measuring activity is low. And the third possibility is to monitor the output of each employee and reward employees who attain what the owners want. This is often best when measuring desired outcomes is easy. The lesson concludes with a short discussion of some of the implications of centralization versus decentralization. Centralization often requires a good flow of information. The people at the top of the firm don't know what the people in the field or on the production floor know, and we got to make sure that information flows up to the deciders. On the other hand, decentralization often requires a strong compensation scheme. We can usually motivate people at the top to act in the owner's best interest by tying their rewards to things like profitability and market value. Tying a salesperson's compensation to profitability or market value of the firm is not very effective because the individual salesperson has very little impact on those overall firm outcomes. So you've got to think long and hard. If you're going to give people the authority to make decisions, and you figure they've got pretty good information that they can use to make the decision, you've got to make sure the incentive lines up where they want to make the decisions that are in the owner's best interest.